DIS 10 Ethical Hacking and Countermeasure Certification.
In this lesson, we're going to be talking about banner grabbing. A banner is any message that an application provides. In the case of networked applications, which is primarily where we would be doing banner grabbing, a networked application would spit back a message, sometimes indicating the type of service that is actually running on that particular port on that server. In this case, I'm connecting to port 22 on my network, and port 22 is the SSH port. Now you can see that I'm running SSH 2.0 OpenSSH version 5.9 patch 1 on a Debian Ubuntu system. So this particular application has provided us a lot of useful information, which is of course the point of doing banner grabbing to begin with. You would do banner grabbing in order to figure out not only the type of application, which in most cases you could get from the port number. For example, if you connect to something on port 80, you can be reasonably sure that you are going to be getting a web server that responds to you on that particular port. Not always the case, but that's why we call them well-known port numbers. Now you can see that I used the application Telnet. Now, Telnet has a client component and a server component, and the server component is used to provide console access to remote users. The client can be used to connect to systems running Telnet as a server. However, it's also a good application for just simply doing a TCP connection. And as I did earlier, I'm going to connect back to this particular system. You can see I'm connecting to a host, that's the 192.168.1.39, and that's on port 22. Now, if I took that port number off, it would default to port 23, which is the Telnet port. I'm going to do 22 in this case, though, and that gives me my SSH connection. Now I can do this on a number of different systems or different service ports. For example, I could do this to the web port. So in this case, I'm just typing raw HTTP and I'm getting a message back. And if I scrolled up here, I could get the server name and version. In this case, it's Apache running 2.2.22 on a Ubuntu server. So again, we've got some information about a particular service that's running on a particular port. So Telnet, again, is really good for connecting to systems that are running TCP. And you can connect to particular ports and interact with them manually because, again, Telnet's a console application. Telnet is also available on pretty much any system that's running TCP/IP. Now, current versions of Windows, you have to go through a few extra steps in order to get the Telnet client installed. But it's pretty easy. You just go to the Programs control panel and you go to Add or Remove Windows Features, and you can go find the Telnet client and just add the client there. In this case, I'm running this on a Mac OS system. It's available for Linux. Like I said, pretty much any system running TCP/IP, you can find a Telnet client for. So it's pretty ubiquitous, and therefore it's pretty good to use for these types of banner grabbing applications.